Know then that it is the year 10,191. The known universe is ruled by the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, my father. In this time, the most precious substance in the universe is the spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. The Spacing Guild and its navigators, who the spice has mutated over 4,000 years, use the orange spice gas, which gives them the ability to fold space. That is, travel to any part of the universe without moving. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you. The spice exists on only one planet in the entire universe. A desolate, dry planet with vast deserts. Hidden away within the rocks of these deserts are a people known as the Fremen, who have long held a prophecy that a man would come, a Messiah, who would lead them to true freedom. The planet is Arrakis, also known as June. The planet is Arrakis.
The makers of Campbell Soup present The Campbell Playhouse. Orson Welles, producer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orson Welles. The late William Archer was as formidable a gentleman as you'd wish to meet. From 1884 to 1923, he wrote dramatic criticism for almost every important paper in England. And almost every American and English playwright at one time or another winced beneath his pen lashings. Then later in life, he developed a secret passion, a disgraceful passion for a dramatic critic. He wanted to write a play. Mr. Archer was a very thorough old gentleman. The first thing he did was to write a book in which he explained exactly and in great dramatic critic how plays should be written. He wanted to write a play. No young playwright since then would dream of writing a play without carefully consulting and following the rules and dictates laid down by Mr. William Archer. No young playwright, that is, except Mr. William Archer, who at the age of 63 sat down and wrote a play in which he took care to break every single one of the rules that he set down in his manual. It was called The Rajah Rook. Changed to The Green Goddess, opened on December 27, 1920 at the Walnut Street Theatre in Philadelphia with Mr. George Arliss in the leading part, and was an immediate and overwhelming success. Ladies and gentlemen, it only remains for me to tell you that our guest tonight is the star of such fine motion pictures as The 39 Steps, The General Dies at Dawn, The Prisoner of Zenda, and the new Paramount picture Cafe Society, the beautiful and talented Madeleine Carroll. But before we begin, a word from our chat.
Not so many years ago, tomato soup and cream of tomato were unusual dishes, enjoyed very much, but not very often. Today, of all the soups in the world, tomato soup is the one most often served. Not because women have taken to making tomato soup frequently. No, on the contrary, few housewives ever attempt it anymore. There's just one reason for tomato soup's popularity, and it is this: the magic, matchless flavor of Campbell's tomato soup. There's a lively verve, a dashing zest about this flavor that people take to at once and come back to and enjoy again and again. The first racy taste of it has a way of arousing a desire to eat, and yet there's a pleasant feeling of satisfaction when the last spoonful is gone. So this soup is a happy choice for the main dish at lunchtime or at supper, and it also is a fine way to start today's main meal. Serve it sometimes, too, as cream of tomato, made with milk instead of water. You can always be sure that it will be received with pleasure, because this, of all soups, is the one people like to have most often: Campbell's tomato soup. And now from Miss Madeleine Carroll, Mr. Orson Welles, and The Green Goddess.
Yes, Doctor? Did you anything about the wireless? Great North. Boil's gone. Outboard for Hardy.
I'll make it too. Anthony, I'm frightened. The form's getting thicker.
Yes, take a finger with you. Rest you up.
No, thanks. You've been drinking enough for both of us.
We'll have to get no form somewhere. My wife certainly doesn't provide any. Now, do you, my dear?
Anthony, I'm sure he's abandoned the behind by now. Ask Dr. Hurley.
Don't tell me you haven't perfect confidence in our finances, sir.
Please, Anthony, this is no time.
On the contrary, it's a very good time. You have to listen still and listen to me for once. Sir, I know very well what's on your mind. What's been on your mind for months. Your perfect mistake you made in marrying a poor devil of a surgeon man instead of a first-rate scientific genius like our Dr. Hurley. Come on, take a deep breath of it.
I have nothing to say.
Well, my dear, if you only have patience for a year or two, I'll do the right thing for once and drink myself to death.
We're out of contact.
The Colonel's worried. He sent me over. They detected in his wife the passengers of Dr. Hurley's plane. How long ago was his last message?
40 minutes. 1 minute long, he's flying blind to the Himalayan forest, sir.
Oh, you're confounded pessimist, Dawson.
Well, I've done some flying over the Himalayas, Captain.
Could you possibly make a forced landing?
Yes, in one of the valleys. But I'd almost rather he'd take a mountain right in the face. Those wild beggars in the interior.
Oh, no, nonsense, Dawson. They wouldn't dare molest British subjects.
Oh, wouldn't they? 3 of the devils just shot down one of our deputies right here in Hamel Sarai.
Yes, and they're going to hang for it.
Well, you can't hang all the savages in those mountains, Captain. Not even the British government.
Try him again, Dawson.
Right, sir.
to make a landing.
There's nothing but mountains all around.
Let's take a chance for the valley. I'm trying to get out of the fog. Looks like a peak straight ahead. I see it. And nose down to the right.
There's a hole in the fog. Anthony, your glasses. Quick, on my side.
Good. I see a green patch. Right below it. Circle a few times. Steady. And bank. If the petrol holds up, there's a clearing in the woods. Castle or something.
I see it. About 1,000 feet, a little on the left.
No use. Petrol's gone. I'll fix the castle. Make to the door. This is best of time. Open it. Hold tight, everybody. Here we go. Easy there. Easy. Take it easy, everyone. Are you hurt?
No, I'm all right.
How about it, No use. Fella smashed. That was the pen of the natives.
Perhaps we could get word to that palace we saw up on the hill.
Well, the natives did that for us, Priscilla. Listen. Keeping at a safe distance. They're scared of us.
No wonder, the way we landed.
I wonder what sort of place we struck.
Look over there. Right above us. That statue.
By Jove. What a creature.
Oh, isn't she?
1, 2, 3, 4. 6 arms.
What horrible color.
Some goddess they worship. Kali, I shouldn't wonder. Well, let's have a close look at the lady.
Anthony, they don't want you near the statue.
Devil's what they want, so I wouldn't anger them. Think of your wife. I'm quite able to take care of myself and my wife too, Dr. Traherne.
Please, Anthony, we've got to show them we're friendly. Try talking to them in Hindustani.
Hello there! You were splendid, Lucilla, all through.
I have faith in you.
If I'd had another pint of petrol, but I simply hadn't such a luck.
It wasn't luck. It was you that saved us, Dad.
There's no use, they can't understand it. We must go well into Central Asia. Rock? Where's that? Why, I've heard that name recently. Look, I can't remember exactly.
I remember. Anthony, keep that Calcutta paper still in the cockpit.
Yeah, it's up there. I was reading on the way. Yes, it's still in my pocket.
I read something just this morning. Let me have it.
Probably on the province dispatches.
Yes, this is the paragraph. Abdalabad, Tuesday. Sentence of death has been passed on 3 men found guilty of the murder of Mr. Haredale, agent of His Majesty's government. It appears these criminals are inhabitants of Rook, a small and little-known independent state among the northern spurs of the Himalayas.
That's it. True. I read it too. And by the way, this news isn't the best possible passport for 3 Englishmen.
But if they're 100 miles from anywhere, it can't be known yet.
Oh, they won't dare touch us. Still, I think I'll burn this page. Have you got an access? Here you are. Thanks. Well, there she goes. Just in case there's anyone here who can read.
Look out. They're watching us, Doctor.
What's that?
Look. Figures moving through the trees.
Professional of some sort. Soldiers, by the heavens. In uniform. Oh, putting out their best foot forward, eh, Doctor? Well, I hope it's a friendly gesture.
I don't like their looks very much. What's that in the center? They're carrying someone on a letter. Look at the gold on it.
Probably little Roger. Try to trail my revolver, but he may go. Let me take our chances on the green fence.
Anthony, try to explain to him.
Now, see if he knows any Hindustani. Yapura Kagara! Yapura Tija Tija Tapa! Yamur Tapa! There's no use, ignorant beggar probably only knows some tribal language, but I have with Afghan. Madrasa! Minuga, say! I bid you welcome to my humble kingdom. Oh, yes, Your Highness speaks English. Then I can apologize for our landing uninvited in your territory. Uninvited, but I assure you, not unwelcome. Well, we are given to understand that this is the state of Rock. To the kingdom of Rook, Major. Major, if I rightly read the symbols of military rank on your cup. Major Cressy. Permit me to introduce my wife. I am delighted, madame, to welcome you to my secluded dominion. If you are the first lady of your nation, I've had the honor of receiving.
Your Highness is very kind.
And this is Dr. Basil Traherne, whose aeroplane, or what's left of it, you see. Dr. Traherne. The Canadian Dr. Traherne, whose name I have so often seen in the newspaper. The pasteur of malaria. Well, the newspapers make too much of my work. Very incomplete. But you're an aviator as well. Only an amateur.
I presume it is some misadventure, most fortunate misadventure for me that has carried you so far into the wilds in a lion.
Yes, we got lost in the clouds.
Pity.
Well, I was waiting for hurry, so the meal could arrive. Made your question the station there. I often take them in my plane. I'm afraid it was a rash suggestion.
Madame, the sportswoman then.
Oh, I've been up many times.
Yes, many times.
Well, you've made sensation here, I can assure you. My people have never seen an aeroplane. They are not sure, so, but you are gods or demons. But the fact that you're having descended in the precincts of a temple of our local goddess, allow me to introduce you to her, is considered highly significant. Is your machine fast prepared, Dr. Hurd?
Utterly, I'm afraid.
Let us look at it. Ah, yes, propellant smashed, plane crumpled up.
Undercarriage wreck.
I'm afraid we can't offer to repair the damage for you.
I'm afraid not, sir.
A wonderful machine, yes. Europe has something to boast of. I wonder what the priest here thinks of it. He says it's the great rock, the giant bird, you know, of our eastern story. And he declares that he plainly saw his goddess hovering over you as you descended and guiding you towards her temple.
Sir, we shall find no difficulty in obtaining transport back to India.
To civilization, you were going to say. Why hesitate, my dear sir? We know very well that we are barbarians. We are quite reconciled to the fact. We have had some 5,000 years to accustom ourselves to it. This sword is a barbarous weapon compared to your revolver that was formed by my ancestors and yours, daubing themselves blue and picking up a precarious livelihood in the woods. But don't misunderstand me all the time. Watkins! Watkins, what are you thinking of? Some cushions, a litter from the dam, mountain chairs for gentlemen. And then I hope you will accept hospitality if I go out.
I was only giving you a great deal of trouble, Your Highness.
A great deal of pleasure, madame.
I hope, sir, there will be no difficulty about obtaining transport back with you.
Time enough to talk of that, Major. When you have rested and recuperated after your adventure, you will do me the honor of dining with me this evening.
Your Highness, we know you well, what really.
All right, if we can put that all right. Watkins, you are in the confidence of our mistress of the road. How does our wardrobe stand?
Fresh consignment of carriage models coming home last week.
Good, then I hope, madame, that you may find among them some rags that you will deign to wear.
Paris models, Your Highness. And you talk of being uncivilized.
We do what we can, madame. I sometimes have the pleasure of entertaining European ladies, though not with a few English women in my solitude, and I like to mitigate the terrors of exile for them. And then, as for civilization, you know, I always had at my elbow one of his most finished products, Watkins. You will recognize in Watkins, gentlemen, another representative of the ruling race. I assure you, he rules me with an iron hand, not always in a velvet glove. Hey, Watkins, Your Highness, will I get a little dry-head? He's my Prime Minister and all my cabinet, but more particularly my Lord Chamberlain. No one can touch him at mixing a cocktail or making a salad. My entire household trembles at his nod, even my chef quails before him. Nothing comes amiss to him, for he is like myself, a man without prejudice. I have sometimes thought of instituting a peerage in order that I might grade Watkins to it, but I mustn't let my admiration for British institutions carry me too far, must I? Here comes the litter. Permit me, madam, to hand you your hand.
Thank you, Your Highness.
I see on the newspaper, madam. A recent paper such as Radisson. You will allow me to glance.
Of course.
The telegraph news is gone, but a pity. In my seclusion, I hunger for tidings from the civilized world.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Highness, I tore out that far.
For I know your motive, Dr. Hurd, and I appreciate it. You destroyed it out of consideration for my feelings, wishing to spare me a painful piece of intelligence. That was very thoughtful, but quite unnecessary. I already know what you're trying to conceal.
No.
I know that 3 of my subjects, accused of a political crime, have been sentenced to death. How is it possible? Sir, we have a saying here in the East. Good news travels on the back of a tortoise, but bad news flies with eagle. But one thing you can try to tell me, is there any chance of their sentences being remitted?
I'm afraid not, Your Highness. Indeed, I'd rather say not. It's a cold-blooded, unprovoked murder.
Unprovoked. Well, I'm not. The execution is today.
I think tomorrow or the day after.
Tomorrow or the day after, yes. Forgive me, madame, I kept you waiting to see at once.
Your Highness seems so interested. Does Your Highness know anything of these men?
Know them? Who is? Yes, Doctor, I do know them. They are my brothers.
Army post to handle Sarai. Your message received. No fine planes you described. Ready to seek missing planes. Please advise location last known. Army.
No, they're all right. Everything's lost. If we only made a landing.
There. Preston would have rigged up their wireless on the ground. You could handle it.
We'll counting stones off and one of those bored obituary writers.
Well, I don't see no reason to feel fearful.
Well, keep it hanging. I lost the colonel by orders from Harry. Oh, by the way, advise mountain stations to see the murders of Harry or sentenced to be hanged tomorrow at Sunday. Might serve as a warning.
Right, Chief. To all mountain stations. Please, murderers of Haredale,
excellent dinner, Roger. I get how you manage a gourmet soup to
Savage country. Maintaining English of civilization is your peculiar possession.
Oh, my husband didn't mean that, Your Highness. Naturally, we didn't expect such splendor, Your Mountain King.
Thank you, madam. My humble castle is indeed splendid if it pleases you. But I was very replenished that long day. My ancestors had no notion of comfort.
They had considerable notion of you, I should say, when they took this notion. I never felt closer to the stars.
My dear doctor, is that a premonition or an observation?
The doctor heard is quite an
Oh,
astronomer.
well, not exactly an astronomer. I can pick out a few constellations, that's all.
For my part, I look at the stars as little as possible. Today I was guilty of a little showing off when I met you with fanfare and truth. Think of the Maharaja of yonder, who night after night whistles up his glittering legions, as much as to say, see what a devil of a fellow I am. I think it's quite in good taste.
I bet you're jealous, Roger. You don't like having to play second fiddle to a still more absolute ruler than yourself.
Yes, perhaps you're right, madame. Perhaps it's partly that. But there's something much more to it. I can't help presenting. Let me recommend the brandy, Major. I think you'll find it excellent.
It is indeed.
What is it you resent, Your Highness?
The respect paid to mere size. To the immensity, as they call it, of the universe. Are we to worship a god because he's big?
If you resent his bigness, what do you say to his littleness? The microscope, you know, reveals him no less than the telescope.
And reveals him in the form of a death-dealing speck of matter, which you, I understand, Doctor, are enviously proposing to exterminate.
I am trying to marshal a life staging against the death-dealing powers.
To marshal God's right hand against his left, eh? This mosquito I just killed. I'm glad to use smoke and to keep them off. This mosquito, when its smallest thickness has light in it, is to be far more admirable than the whole lifeless universe. What do you say, Major?
I say, Roger, if you give me another glass of brandy, I'll let you have your own way about the universe.
It's a very satisfactory trade. Your glass, Major.
Thanks. I say, all this is rather out of my depth. We've had rather a fatiguing day.
Be sure. We are now going to committee upon your position here.
Thank you, Peter.
I'm afraid you may find it a rather difficult.
Communication's there, eh? We have a difficult journey before us.
A long journey, yes. Not exactly difficult.
Well, sure it can't be very far, since you've heard of the sentence passed on those occasions.
I'm glad, Major, that you have so tactfully spared the pain of reopening that subject. We should have had to come to it sooner.
But when your Highness said of your brothers, you were of course speaking figuratively. You meant your side.
Oh, not at all. No. They are sons of my father. They're not of my mother.
And we come upon you at such a time, how good.
Oh, pray don't apologize. Believe me, your arrival has given me great satisfaction.
How do you mean?
Friend certainly was
First, let's understand each other. You surely can't approve of this abominable crime?
My brothers are fanatics, and there is no fanaticism in me. My education was wholly European. I shed all my prejudices. I became the open-minded citizen of the world whom I hope you recognize in me. My brothers, on the other hand, Turn to India, their culture. The religion of our people has always been imprinted with idolatry. My brother naturally burying with the adherents of the same superstition, and they worked each other up to a high pitch of frenzy against the European exploitation of Asia.
You mean that you defend this wicked murder?
Oh no, I think it's foolish and futile. But there is a romantic as well as a practical side to my nature. And from the romantic point of view, I rather admire it.
Then, sir, let me through in your hospitality to the better. You'll be good enough to furnish us with transport tomorrow morning.
That is just where the difficulty arises.
Oh, transport, eh?
Materially it might be managed, but morally, I guess. Excuse the colloquialism, there you go.
What the blazes you mean, sir?
No, I'll be good enough to explain.
I mentioned that the religion of my people is a primitive superstition. For since the news has spread that 3 strangers have dropped from the sky, despite this assignment, 3 princes of the royal house are threatened with death at the hands of the British government, and dropped moreover in the precincts of a temple. My subjects have gotten into their heads that you have been personally conducted hither by the goddess whom they especially worship.
The goddess?
Here's a portrait of Majesty, much admired by connoisseurs.
Then the upshot of all this palaver is that you propose a whole lot of hostages in exchange for your brothers.
That is not precisely the idea, my dear. My theologians do not hold that an exchange is what the goddess decrees. Nor, to be quite frank, it don't get to suit my purpose.
Not to get your brothers back again?
You may have noted in history, madame, that family affection is seldom strong consequence.
But I don't see, Your Highness, what all this has to do with us.
We are approaching the crux of the matter, a point which I fear you may not be appreciating. I would beg you to remember that though I am what is commonly called an autocrat, there is no such thing under the sun as a real despotism. All government is government by consent of the people. It's very stupid of them to consent, but they do. I defy their prejudices or their passions. They could have set my throat tomorrow.
Will you be so kind as to come to the point, sir?
Gently, Major, gently. We shall reach it soon enough. Please remember, too, that I am a slave to theology. The clerical party can do what it pleases me.
Your Highness, your
The
poetry.
point is, dear lady, that this theology on which, as I say, my whole power is founded, has not yet emerged from a very primitive stage of development. It demands an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for life. You need to say, unfortunately, I do. Not I, madame, the clerical party. And only if my brothers are executed. If not, I will merely demand your word of honor that was passed between the Schmerz and Menschenrecht.
But if your brothers stand in the hanged, as they certainly will be, you'll put out death in cold blood.
Oh, not in cold blood, Major. There is nothing cold-blooded about the clerical party when white goats, as their phrase goes, are to be sacrificed to the gods.
What is this preference? Your goddess demands the life of a woman?
Well, on that point, she might not be too exacting. If Madame would be so gracious as to favor me with her.
Your Highness, now for an Artuso.
Anthony.
No use, Major. That gun wouldn't help you a bit. If you killed me, you'd only be torn to pieces instead of beheaded.
We'll take our chances.
Besides, I've had your pistol unloaded. That precaution was taken while you were at your bar.
You get it.
Anthony, please.
I gather, madame, that my offer does not please you. Well, I scarcely know truthful. I do not press it. Nonetheless, the suggestion.
But what's that sound?
Interesting. To wait a minute, I'm asking you, do you recognize the service call, a message to the airbase, and it's all right. Well, Watkins?
The only post. Oh, you're all right.
What is it?
There's another guy. Sorry, only post. When you arrive. No signs, planes, you describe. Ready to seek missing plane. Please advise location. Guard now.
Much good, that was a look. Have contact, what?
Here's another line. It's the man who arrived. 2-4 Mankin Station. 3 murderers of Airedale sentenced to be hanged tomorrow. Yes,
Turn it off. That's all I need to know.
Yes, Your Honor.
I
I find your friends are very interested in your whereabouts.
What's that?
Ambulance arrived transmitting messages to Bahari, and Bahari transmits arrived.
How do you know?
Why, Major, you're an army man with something wireless.
Never have occasion. I operated to my command.
And you, Dr. Traherne?
I know we were left in the Major. We heard the sound of the fault. You went out.
You see, Doctor, we are not entirely benighted. We have a wireless installation.
You have anything further to tell us, Your Highness?
Yes. I'm afraid not very good news. My brother's execution is fixed for tomorrow.
And tomorrow?
Yes. But meanwhile, I hope you will regard my poor house as your own. I should not advise you to pass the palace gates.
Your Highness.
Yes, madam.
I can't believe it. You really know what you told us tonight. Perhaps you're testing us, having found our extent. Will you please now, for my sake, communicate with Andrew Sarai and bring about the exchange? Your brother lies for ours.
No, madam, I am desolated to have to refuse. It is always difficult to refuse a beautiful woman. Instinct. And you are a very beautiful woman. But you must not ask for the impossible. I have already given you my reason.
And what's to prevent us from throwing ourselves from that low down to the rock below? From keeping your guard?
Nothing, dear lady, except that clinging to the known and shrinking from the unknown that always feel. And besides, you cannot read my mind. As you suggested a moment ago, I may only be playing a joke on you. You observed I have a sense of humor. I'm afraid I've been talking a great deal. And I myself will take you to your room. Yeah. Keep coming. You will see that Madame has everything she needs for her comfort. And may I hope that you will rest well in my army of thoughts.
Good night, Anthony. Basil.
No, Roger. Right, sir.
If there is anything, Madame, that is not entirely to your liking, I trust you will not hesitate to make your wishes known. Good night, Madame. And now, gentlemen, tomorrow we have all day. If you will start with the game of business, say 10 o'clock. No, not 15 further. No? Then good night. Good night.
Listening to the Campbell Playhouse presentation of The Green Goddess, starring Madeline Carroll and Orson Welles. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. This is Ernest Chappell, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you back to the Campbell Playhouse. In a moment or two, we shall resume our presentation of The Green Goddess, starring Orson Welles and Madeline Carroll. Leaving our guest star as an uneasy dinner companion of the Rajah, whose table talk was so disturbing, though the service, I'm sure, was flawless, let's consider this question of food in the drama. So many plays have been written around meals or have featured meals, you can't get through an English drawing room comedy without at least one afternoon tea, or an old coward play without breakfast. In Old English, George Olive solved all his problems by eating a dinner so good and so elaborate that it killed him. And dinner at 8 wove the threads of half a dozen dramas into the preparations for a dinner party that was just about to start as the final curtain fell. The reason that meals have such an important part in plays is that meals and mealtimes form an all-important center of our social life, a sort of hub, so to speak, around which all our doings revolve. Meals, from the beginning of our society, have been the occasion and the backbone of entertaining and the focal center of the family. Few things bind people together more than the sharing of meals, provided those meals are gracious and graciously served. Perhaps it sounds exaggerated to say that a meal can't help but be a gracious occasion if soup is on the menu. But it does mean something that for centuries past, soup has been the traditional opening of dinner in many countries whose habits differ in almost every other particular. Soup is at once relaxing and invigorating. Soup greets us at the table with a warm welcome, and this is particularly true of Campbell's tomato soup. Its rich aroma and bright color flash and appeal to eye and appetite, and its sprightly flavor makes you want to enjoy it again and again. So serving this soup becomes a happy family custom, and adds a gracious note when you have friends in for dinner. Now we resume our Campbell Playhouse presentation of The Green Goddess, starring Madeline Carroll and Orson Welles.
Good shot, Major. I see billiards, another go, many attainments.
I missed that one.
Too bad. Too bad. I'll try my luck. An easy one. I'll try the big cushion shot now.
Pretty good, Roger.
Thank you, Doctor.
Roger, joke's a joke. This cat and mouse business is getting on my nerves.
Have another drink, Major. There's a spot for. Chalk that up, Major, please. I wonder if I can cannon off the fight now.
Send us back to my nearest British outpost of guild. Give you our word to say nothing of this peasant thing you played on us.
Send you back, my dear Major. I assure you, if I were ever so willing, it would be as much as my life's worth. Watch this message, gentlemen, one of my favorite shots. You don't know how my subjects are looking forward to tomorrow's ceremony. You must be reasonable, my dear.
I ask you no favors except for my wife's sake. But for her, we'll make any concession. Promise you anything.
What can you promise me? It's worth a brown farthing. No. Asia has long had a long sword against you swaggering, blustering lords of creation. And I mean to see some of it paid tomorrow. In the meantime, gentlemen, there's no reason why we shouldn't behave like civilized beings. Your turn, Major. Let you set up.
Let me try the red ball for the question.
Beautiful shot. I'd like to keep it from my opponent. If possible.
You're on it.
Yes, Watkins.
Mrs. Crispin's come downstairs.
You'll pardon me, gentlemen. I'll detain Mrs. Crispin only for a few moments, and she'll join you here. Please continue the game. Dr. Traherne.
Yes?
Last night you informed me you knew nothing of the wireless. It reported to me that the wireless had been installed in your plane.
That's true. Wireless is now part of the plane's standard equipment. Unfortunately, I neglected to learn to operate it. We might have escaped being lost to the fog. And your hospitality.
Doctor, I'm forced to admire your tact as well as your billiards. Good morning, Mrs. Crispin. Would you please sit down?
I thought my husband was here.
He's in the next room playing billiards. The doctor, I trust, Mrs. Cresswell.
More or less.
More rather than less, if one may judge by your looks.
Does it matter?
What can matter more than the looks of a beautiful woman?
If you'll excuse me, I'll join my husband.
Oh, pray spare me a few moments. I want to speak to you seriously.
Well, I'm listening.
You're very curt, Mrs. Crispin. I'm afraid you bear me malice. You hold me responsible for the doctor's trying situation which you find yourself.
Who else is responsible?
Who? Why, chance, fate, the gods, providence. Did I bring you here? Did I conjure up a thought? When you once set foot upon the goddess' precinct, it was utterly out of my power to save you. At any rate, many of your party. If I raised a finger to thwart the goddess, it would be the end of my rule. That's my life.
What you really mean, Roger, if you don't dare it, you haven't the courage.
You take a mean advantage, madame. You abuse the privilege of your sex in order to taunt me with cowardice.
Let us say then that you haven't the will to say that.
Reflect one moment, madame. Why should I have the will at the risk of all I possess to save Major Crispin and Dr. Traherne? Major Crispin is your husband. Does that recommend him to me? Forgive me if I venture to guess that it doesn't greatly recommend him to you. He is an only too typical specimen of the breed I detest. Pig-headed, bull-necked, blustering, daring. Dr. Traherne is agreeable enough, I dare say a man of genius.
Would you kill him? If you cut short his work, you kill millions of your own race, and he would have saved.
I don't know that I care very much about the millions you speak of. Life is a weed that grows again as fast as death and smolders down. At all events, he is an Englishman of Ringy, and I may add,
Without indiscretion, with the interest you've taken him, all the merest friendly interest, I'm sure, there's nothing dear to me. One is, after all, a man, and the favor shown to another man by a beautiful woman, Madame. Think over my suggestions last night. I do not talk to you of romantic love. I respect you too much to think you accessible to silly sentiment. But such as it is, I ask you to share my kingdom as its queen. Your son, if you bore me once, should be the prince of princes. You have the courage to die. Dear lady, why not have the courage to live? I feel sure, madame, you might find life with me quite interesting.
If you finish, Prince, please allow me to be with my husband and my friend for what time we have left.
As you wish, madame. But the privilege of changing your mind is open to the last. Allow me. Watkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
It occurred to me, Watkins, that perhaps it's not quite safe to have our visitors so near the wireless room. Their one chance would be to communicate with India. They appear to know nothing about wireless, but it does quite possible. I want you to stay in this room and in their presence to send out a message that will startle or enrage them. We will watch their faces very closely to see if they give any sign of understanding it. Here, I've written a message in the paper. You are.
The lady has come to terms. She will enter His Highness's household. Very good.
I'll get them in here on the pretext of a little wireless demonstration, and then I'll tell you to send out an order to Tashkent for champagne. That'll be your cue.
Very good, Your Highness. But afterwards, if now you were saying that try to correct
you, that would be painting the lily with a vengeance.
Suppose they try to surprise me, sir. What are your instructions?
You may do exactly as you please. I have the most implicit confidence in you, Watkins.
My grateful thanks, he said. So I thought if I was to pretend to send a message for him, it might keep him quiet.
Very true, Watkins. It would not only keep them quiet, but the illusion of security would raise their spirits, which would be a humane action. I'm always on the side of humanity.
Yes, thanks, sir. Then I'll humor it.
Just a moment. We shall test them now. Watch closely as you send the message. Major Preston.
What is it?
Watkins is just going to send a message by wireless. I thought if I could use you and the doctor to see it work. Mrs. Preston, too, if she wishes.
Very well. You coming, sir?
Yes, of course.
Here you are. This you see the apparatus. Ready, Watkins?
Yes, sir.
Have the orders for Tashkent?
Yes, Your Highness, but I haven't
Oh, never mind. Even if some outsider does pick it up, I dare say we can order 12 cases of champagne without causing international complications. Waiting for the fire signal.
I have myself some more of your excellent brandy, Roger.
By all means, Major Christian.
I've got them.
May we speak? Oh, yes, you won't be heard in Tashkent.
Have a drink, sir. No. Now let's eat, drink, and be merry for tomorrow.
See, that's all. That's how it's done.
How many words did he say?
What about it, Watkins? Forward by tomorrow's caravan. 12 cases of champagne, usual brand, charge our account 30.
That's right, sir.
12 words.
Can they really make such sense out of those blasted silly fireworks?
I hope so, else we shall run short of champagne.
Any orders, Your Highness?
No orders, Watkins.
And may I remind you, sir, that it's time for your appointment to the High Priest.
Very well, Watkins. You can send word that I'm coming.
Very good.
And now I trust you will excuse me for drawing some arrangements for tomorrow's ceremony. Please make yourselves quite at home.
What was the message? Quick. Said the lady had accepted her life on his a fat fork.
Anthony was splendid. You gave no sign.
Compliment from you. Most unusual. Well, I have another drink on that. I think he was fooled. But he wouldn't have left us here. Can you break the door to wide effect? No good at making noise. He'll be interrupted and then the game will be up.
And we better try to bribe what?
Tell what message to send if we get the chance.
Okay, all right.
What about this now? Wait. Major Preston, wife, to home, imprisoned roof, Rogers Palace, life and danger. No, we want something more definite.
How would it be? Death threatening this evening. Rescue urgent.
Excellent. How do we get Watson?
There's a bell outside. Now we better decide what to do if he won't take money, and we have to use force to get his keys. What should we do?
There's only one thing. Over the balcony.
Oh, no.
There's a drop of 1,000 feet.
Anthony.
Save your sympathy, my dear, for a worthier object. This time, you know. I can get 3 minutes of that instrument back. Yes, Watkins. We want to see words with you.
Oh, mind coming over here?
You don't want to speak loud.
Oh.
I just... I didn't think guess what was doing.
I'm no end at guessing, sir. Rather adapted his play to what's proposed for tomorrow. I've heard today that numbers is
Surely going to 10% by and get murdered, 3 of your own people, and one of them a woman.
What's my own people ever done for me? A woman needed to see that.
No good to them. Come down to pin death, all right? What do you take to get us out of this?
Get you out of this. Why, if you was offering a million back, I do that.
By opening that wireless cabinet and sending this message through to the Anniversary Aerodrome.
That's already fine, but what price have you guessed off?
Nothing down, no plus cash, that's clear. You have to take our word for whatever bargain we come to.
Your word.
Our written word. We'll give it to you in writing.
Well, that's better. And what about the little fasting stone? You ain't quite on your uppers, are you not? You could come down to a little something, couldn't you? Be ever so humble.
I have 300 rupees and 5 10-pound notes.
On the table, if you please. You make it?
250 rupees. That's a blue string. There, take a first installment. What about the balance? We say £1,000 each.
1,000 apiece, 3,000 pounds. Come on, you're joking, Doctor.
Well, I double my bid. 2,000 apiece.
Your life ain't worth 5,000 apiece, kid. There ain't nothing doing. My place here is worth 15,000 to me. There's all the risk, too. I ain't charging you nothing for that.
We appreciate your generosity, Watson. 15,000 it is. Now get to work quick and call up Anniversary.
Right you are, man.
What? Isn't there some special service code you would send out to get Anniversary?
Hold on there, I know this. Here it is. All right, got them there. Now the message.
Turn up! Hurry up! Put it all to the back! That's a good job. Now, can you lock that outside door?
No key in it, Anthony.
The phone is the message. I'm trying to hold it. Can you send through a message? If you give me a minute, I can. Fine.
And the cat's away.
What else? Get shot!
Did you get that message through?
Anthony!
Did you?
You lied. No. What?
Anthony!
I apologize, madame, for this unseemly display. The fanaticism of my people is beyond my control, I assure you.
What are we doing?
Your husband's body, madame, we are laying it at the feet of the goddess, you see. I had 3 brothers, head for a head.
Right, you will pay for this. Whether we're dead or alive.
I'm not so sure. The Major didn't get your SOS through. I have nothing to fear. If he did, nothing can save me. I may as well be hanged for a wolf as a lamb.
How long have we left?
Till the sun's rim touches the crest of the mountain. A blast of our great mountain horn will announce the hour, and you will be led to sacred enclosure.
Your Highness, will you grant us the last favor?
By all means, it is in my power. Despite your inconsiderate action yesterday.
Considerate.
Watkins, you know, poor Watkins. Great loss today. But I bear no malice for a fair act of war.
Then you'll leave us alone for the time that remains.
Very well. It's quite brief, I'm afraid. And oh, by the way, you need have no fear of the ceremony being protracted. It will be brief and I trust painless. Those are my orders. And before I go, madame, may I remind you of my offer? Not yet too late. Till then, au revoir.
Yes.
It can make no difference now if I tell you what I couldn't before.
I knew without your telling me. You might have been very happy.
Not easy to die. Just to have every reason to live.
Perhaps easier than it was, living without a reason. We found each other and we know. Tell me that I can think of it when they... Please, just once.
I love you so.
I love you. Sit down there.
Madame? Dr. Traherne? I regret to intrude, but the time of the ceremony is unfortunately come.
I am ready.
Pity, madame. The last time. Must I do violence to my feelings by including you in the approaching ceremony? There is still time.
You stop tormenting this lady.
Remember my power, madame. If I may not take you back to my palace as my queen, I can send you back as my slave. Have you nothing to say?
Nothing.
I repeat my offer.
Devil, I'll kill you up.
Chivalrous, but ill-advised, Dr. Traherne. I regret it, and so will you. I am, for the moment, not a king, but a priest, and must observe a certain dignity. Ridiculous, isn't it? My colleagues here now insist that since you have publicly struck the chief of their sacred caste, your death alone will not appease the fury of the gods. They insist on subjecting you to a process of expiation, a ritual of great antiquity, but you mean torture? Well, put it crudely, yes. A quite remarkable combination. Not you, madame.
I must speak to you. I speak to you alone. Send Dr. Traherne away.
Priscilla, what are you thinking of? Priscilla!
I beg of you, I beg of you. 1 minute, no more.
Very well.
Priscilla!
How are you?
Priscilla!
Well, madame, we have less than a minute.
Let him go. Send him back to India unharmed, and it shall be as you wish.
How am I to know that you will keep your word? I must have a pledge of your good faith, for without a pledge, madame, I don't believe in it one little bit.
What pledge?
Only one is left. Dr. Traherne himself. I may, though it will strain my power to the utmost, save his life while keeping him in prison. Then, when you have fulfilled your bond, let him go free. But the moment you attempt to evade your pledge, by death or by escape, I will hand him over to the priests to work their will with, and I will put no restraint upon their savage instincts. Choose, my dear lady. Choose. You have exactly 20 seconds.
But Your Highness,
Yes, madame?
I no longer have to choose. Do I?
When you keep me a breaker, none of the people says the downfall, His Highness the Raja of Root.
Come, Your Highness. May I present you to Lady Beatrice?
How do you do?
A long day, Your Highness.
How do you do? A pleasure, my lord.
May I present you to her, the Raja of Root?
I believe we've met before.
Yes. Your Highness and I have met before.
Under somewhat different circumstances, were they not, Mrs. Gregson? Oh, excuse me, how silly I am, Mrs. Traherne. The moment I had almost forgotten the Major's heroic end.
We should have any reason to remember it, Arthur.
I see you persist in regarding me as a murderer. What a pity that your husband killed my faithful servant. His own death is my hand with the fair act reward.
Maybe His Majesty's government didn't view it in that light.
No. The English government's difficulty in taking an unprejudiced view about such matters. For that reason, you now see me, madame, swelling the ranks of the kings in exile. But I find retirement at his compensation, for instance, the clerical body of Rook, no longer profit with them. Mrs. Treherne, we'll take a whole time. Have the pleasure of this walk.
You must excuse me, Your Highness.
Well, then perhaps you and your husband do the honor of staying with visiting my villa. Carlo, it is less picturesque than my castle in Rook, but you will find it more comfortable, and I assure you a great deal less hazardous.
I think I prefer not to impose upon your hospitality again. Now, will you excuse me? Here's my husband.
Oh, Dr. Treherne. How do you do, dear doctor? Your wife and I were just having a most charming conversation. Quite like old times. Just between us men, Dr. Treherne, it was really a blessing that things turned out as they did, don't you think? You and Mrs. Treherne appear to be exceedingly happy. And I can't help but conclude that in some small way I have contributed to your happiness. And for my part, had she remained in Rook, I am now of the opinion she would have turned out to be profoundly useful anyway.
You have been listening to the Campbell Playhouse presentation of The Green Goddess, starring Madeline Carroll and Orson Welles. In just a moment, Orson Welles will return to the microphone with Miss Carroll, but meantime, I spoke a little while ago of the popularity of tomato soup. Almost anywhere you go, you find this is the ruling favorite among soups. Indeed, I believe that if people could have only one kind of soup, they would choose tomato soup. And furthermore, in nearly every case, it would be Campbell's tomato soup. Now, why is this so? One reason is that it is such a versatile soup. The lively aroma and the bright glow of it beckon to the appetite, so that it makes a tip-top beginning for dinner. There's real nourishment in it, too, making it a fine lunch or supper dish. And for extra nourishment, it may be served as cream of tomato, with milk added instead of water. But the main reason Campbell's tomato soup is the world's favorite is its flavor. Just about everybody likes the tang and liveliness of it. Little folk just learning to feed themselves spoon it up eagerly, and throughout their growing years it holds their favor. Men, liking keen, racy food, take to this soup with enthusiasm. Women like its bright flavor, too, and its bright look on the table, and the bright greeting it receives. Yes, there's no question, but America's #1 soup is Campbell's tomato. Is it #1 on your weekend grocery list? It should be. And now, here's Orson Welles.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you agree with me that when Mr. Archer set out to write a melodrama, he wrote a melodrama. I'm glad, however, to report that not a single hair of Miss Carroll's lovely head has been ruffled by this evening's harrowing experience. Here she is, none the worse for it, Miss Madeline Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I might explain that Miss Carroll has just returned from a vacation trip to Europe. Miss Carroll, on behalf of these United States of America, may I say how pleased we all are to have you back.
Not nearly so pleased as I am to be here tonight, especially since I can now be the first to congratulate you on the great tribute that was paid you this week, when you were voted the outstanding new radio star of the year in the Scripps-Howard Radio Editing Poll. I was very sincerely delighted to hear it. You deserve it.
That's very nice of you, Miss Carroll. Of course, I'm very proud, and so is everybody else in the Campbell Playhouse. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the editors in the country and in Canada who have paid us such a fine compliment, and to tell them that we shall continue to try and live up to the honor they've done us.
I don't think there's any doubt that you're doing that. Thanks again and good night.
In tonight's Campbell Playhouse production of The Green Goddess, the role of Lucilla Crespin was played by our guest, Miss Madeline Carroll, the Rajah by Orson Welles. Robert Spake played Major Crespin, Ray Collins was Dr. Treherne. The part of Watkins was played by Eustace Wyatt, that of Dawson by Edgar Barrier. Alfred Shirley was Caldwell, and Maurice Ankren was the High Priest, the part which he played in the original production about 18 years ago. Music for the Campbell Playhouse tonight was composed and conducted by Bernard Herrmann. And now Orson Welles will you tell us something about next week's story.
Well, there it is. That's next week. Next week we're doing a Broadway success of some 10 years ago, Burlesque. Burlesque by James Manker Waters. And that great American producer, Arthur Hopkins. Burlesque is about the show business, about a girl and her love for a ham comic, as he called himself, how she left him and how she went back to him. And it's really more than that. It's a great story of a great business. So until next Friday night when we present Burlesque, my sponsors, makers of Campbell Soup, and all of us in the Campbell Playhouse remain obedient to you.
Campbell Soup join Orson Welles in inviting you to be with us at the Campbell Playhouse next Friday evening to hear Burlesque. Meanwhile, if you have enjoyed tonight's Campbell Playhouse presentation, won't you tell your grocer so tomorrow when you order Campbell's tomato soup? This is Ernest Chappell saying thank you and good night. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Littlefoot had been wrong about the shot, but the others followed him. Their only hope was to reach the great valley, and Littlefoot alone remained.
The beginning is a very delicate time. Know then that it is the year 10,191. The known universe is ruled by the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, my father. In this time, the most precious substance in the universe is the spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. The Spacing Guild and its navigators, who the spice has mutated over 4,000 years, use the orange spice gas, which gives them the ability to fold space. That is, travel to any part of the universe without moving. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you. The spice exists on only one planet in the entire universe. A desolate, dry planet with vast deserts. Hidden away within the rocks of these deserts are a people known as the Fremen, who have long held a prophecy that a man would come, a Messiah, who would lead them to true freedom. The planet is Arrakis, also known as June.
Well, that was an interesting one. As a matter of due course, we begin by simply listening. Slow down and see just how peaceful today can be. Catch you guys on the flip side. Alexa, knock. Alexa, knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Oyster. Oyster who? Oyster the pot. The chowder is burning.
Alexa, give me my tarot card.
Okay, here's Tarot Reader. You drew the reversed death. It depicts a black skeleton wearing Osiris crown and wielding a scythe. He cuts a giant DNA helix of souls while being surrounded by a scorpion, snake, carp, and phoenix. It means sleepwalking through life and the destruction of hope. This is the hanged man who has accepted reality, but is unable to make the changes after hitting rock bottom. This is prolonged misery into numbness. It is giving up. Do you want me to draw another card?
No.
Goodbye.